Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a one-page layout, and I am working my way through my July flavors of the month kits from the ScrapRoom. So I have this Happy Travels collection, I believe is what it's called, from Simple Stories, and I usually just use travel collections for like the car rides and the plane rides, but recently I have been watching Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and she's been using them just for kind of vacation photos. And so I decided to do that and kind of try my hand at that. So I'm going to be documenting a couple of photos from a trip to Florida, and we went and visited Homosassa Springs in Florida. Yeah, in Florida. I don't know. So I originally came into the layout thinking I was going to do something completely different, but then I remembered there were all of these like stamps, and I've had this idea in mind since I saw the paper, and so I decided to kind of do this instead. So I cut 3 strips of those, and I am going to end up cutting them in different lengths, and then because I had cut a circle out of that paper, I used the backside and cut a rectangle to kind of utilize that piece, and I'm going to use that kind of as a layering piece as well. And you know me, I cannot do a one-page layout and not border my layout. So I had the orange paper that I had cut a circle out of, but because I cut it out in the middle, I was able to tape off kind of where I had cut in and use that for my border sheet. So that was really kind of a different way for me, I guess, to use the scrap. I kept it not really having anything in particular in mind, I guess. Especially with it kind of a huge circle out of it, but then the cut into the middle. I wasn't sure, what I was going to do, but it all worked out, and I really like the way that that looks. So I knew that the far left strip of these was not going to be covered up at all with a photo, and so I decided to pop that one up on some foam tape, and then I'm cutting the other ones at different lengths and kind of positioning them, kind of staggering them, I guess. And then I am going to actually keep the scrap pieces because I feel like I could use those as embellishment. So I did end up, when I'm done with the layout, I put those all in my bag of embellishments. So really now it's time to assemble. So again, I popped the one up on foam tape. The other 2 will just be down on the page because I think both might be covered up just a little bit with my photo. So I really kind of wanted maybe a bigger stagger, especially with that middle one, but I cut it kind of short, and I didn't want that green paper to be on top or show at the top of the stamps. So I kind of tucked it in there as close as I could to the top, that green paper. Hopefully that made sense. So I am going to use the 2 photos and kind of overlap them and angle them. I decided to use one of the chipboard pieces, Travel Highlights, I think is what it's called, as my title, but I knew I needed kind of a piece to go on top. And so I went to the sticker sheet and found the camera and just thought that was perfect. And then that really allowed that spot in between the 2 to add another embellishment. I did add the first photo right on the layout, but then I am going to double mat the second photo because that one will be on top. So just found a scrap piece of off-white, and then using the cardstock that came with the kit. So I am actually using the Flavors of the Month kit, the embellishment add-on, and probably the patterned paper add-on. I also have the Shots of Life kit, which is more of a pocket page kit, which maybe the chipboard pieces came in that. So again, I have all of the add-ons for this, and I'm using multiple pieces from each. So You can definitely get multiple layouts done if you just get the Flavors of the Month kit, but I am loving having these additional pieces. I think this collection especially is beautiful and fun. I love the colors. So I've got enough for at least one, if not two more layouts. So that's really exciting. And one of the papers I've saved, actually maybe two. I love the striped paper, and then there's a beautiful floral paper too that I think I still have. So I might challenge myself too to maybe do something non travel related with that. There's enough floral pieces on the embellishment pack as well, or the sticker sheet, excuse me, that I think maybe I could get away with it. So really just kind of looking at what I have and trying to add to each of the clusters. So I have the title cluster, a cluster down on the bottom right, and then I added a tab to the top left of the photos, tucked in a paper clip. Has nothing to do, I guess, with the photos, but it was a good layering piece, I guess. So there was a stamp on the sticker sheet that I liked, so I wanted something on the bottom, another layering piece, I guess, for that piece of ephemera. So that stamp was perfect. A little journaling piece of ephemera down there just to kind of mention where we're at. And then that star, that was the only star that I could see on the sticker sheet. So I added that, but then I'm going to finish off and add a bunch of enamel dots around the clusters. Those also might have come in the Shots of Life kit. So again, I'm using multiple add-on kits here as well as the main Flavors of the Month kit, but love this collection. So glad I got my hands on it. I didn't originally buy it only because I have other travel collections that I need to kind of dig into more as well. So that is going to finish off this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.